Welcome to Tracking the Week. On Monday, Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, clarified that the proposed tax reform bill before the National Assembly are not aimed at targeting or undermining any region. Speaking at an interactive session organized by House of Representatives, Oyedele stated that the reform aimed at enhancing efficiency and increase revenue for states based on consumption patterns. The bills transmitted by President Bola Tinubu in September included the Nigeria Tax Bill 2024, the Tax Administration Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. These bills seek to update tax laws, streamline administration, and create new legal framework for taxation in the country. However, state governors, particularly the Northern Governors Forum, have opposed the derivation-based VAT distribution model proposed in the reform. President Tinubu rejected calls for their withdrawal, emphasizing the need for reform. Oyedele explained that the current VAT Act revenue is allocated 15% to the federal government, 50% to state government in the FCT, and 35% to local governments. He assured stakeholders that the proposals are designed to benefit all regions equitably. Also on Monday, former President Olusegun Obasanjo said Western liberal democracy is not working for the country, stating that votes don't count in Nigeria and unless things change, he won't vote again. Obasanjo made this known in his remarks at the 2024 Youth Governance Dialogue organized by the Youth Developmental Center at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library held in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Speaking during the interactive session with youth, the former president stated that for youth to change the narrative, they must be positive and instructive. He said no visible development has been recorded in the country, just as he also berated successive government after his tenure for alleged poor handling of the power sector. Also speaking at the event, Senior Program Development Officer, Youth Development Center, Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library, noted our Youth Governance Dialogue is a platform for young minds to engage Obasanjo on issues in Africa, including receiving mentorship on how to solve these problems. On Tuesday, President Bola Tinubu wrote to the Nigerian Senate and House of Representatives seeking approval of a fresh $2.2 billion as a new external borrowing plan to the 2024 Appropriation Act. The president's request was read by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, during plenary. If approved, the loan will be used to part finance the budget deficit of 9.7 trillion naira for 2024 budget. Correspondent Kunle reports that President Tinubu also transmitted medium-term expenditure framework and the fiscal strategy paper MTEF-FSB 2025 to 2027 to the Parliament for consideration and approval. Also forwarded was the National Social Investment Program Establishment Amendment Bill to make the Social Register the primary tool for implementation of the federal government's social welfare programs. President Tinubu also sought confirmation of 3 nominees as commissioners for Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Also on Tuesday, President Bola Tinubu declared that development of northern Nigeria remains fundamental to the nation's prosperity. Accordingly, the president unveiled a comprehensive youth development strategy spanning multiple key sectors to drive Nigeria's economic transformation. Speaking during a stakeholders roundtable on Northern Youth Development organized by Sir Ahmadu Bello Memorial Foundation in Abuja, President Tinubu, who was represented by his Deputy Vice President Kashim Shettima, invoked the legacy of the late Sardauna of Sokoto and former Premier of Northern Nigeria. Earlier, former Governor of Niger State and Chairman of the Foundation's Board of Trustees, Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliyu, noted that the event marked the Foundation's 15th anniversary. Also, Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar II, emphasized the critical role of youth education in national development, saying the youth are the foundation of any development Nigeria envisages. On Wednesday, the Nigerian Senate sacked Danladi Umar as a chairman of Code of Conduct Tribunal (CCT). The lawmakers, after a closed-door session, reconvened and invoked Section 157, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended to officially remove Umar as the CCT boss, citing allegations of misconduct. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reported that the Senate held that it had become imperative to remove him because his actions were unbecoming and this level of gross misconduct no longer acceptable. Umar's removal will now pave the way for the official assumption of Abdullahi Bello as the new substantive chairman of the tribunal. 84 senators had signed in favor of his removal following deliberation in a motion by leader of the Senate, Opeyemi Bamidele. The motion was adopted by the upper legislative chamber after it was put to a voice vote by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Still on Wednesday, President Bola Tinubu approved the dissolution of Governing Council of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Awka, Anambra State and the removal of Professor Bernard Ifeanyi Odo, the new Vice-Chancellor, Andrews Mire, former Nwokike, the Registrar. The council, led by Ambassador Greg Zumba Mbadiwe, included 5 other members: Afiz Oladejo, Augustine Oyedibelu, and engineer Amiloran Osao, and retired General Funsho Oyinenyi. The sacking of the governing council and officials followed reports that the council illegally appointed an unqualified vice-chancellor without following due process. After the controversial appointment, the federal government stepped in to address tensions between the University Senate and the governing council of the 33-year-old institution. Bayo Ononuga, special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, in a statement said that the government expressed concern over the council's apparent disregard for the university's governing laws in its selection process. In the same vein, Tinubu also approved the removal of engineer Oyeku Mohammed Salami as the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Federal University of Health Sciences in Otukbo, Benue State. Despite the Federal Ministry of Education's call for unlawful suspension to be revoked, Engineer Salami refused to comply. Instead, he resorted to abusive and threatening behavior towards the ministry's directors, including the Permanent Secretary. On Thursday, the Senate approved President Bola Tinubu's loan request of $2.2 billion to partially finance the 9.7 trillion naira budget deficit of the 2024 fiscal year. The approval followed the presentation of a report by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debt, Aliyu Wamako, during plenary. Presiding over the session, Deputy Senate President Jibrin Barau commended the committee for its swift action and thorough examination of the loan request. Likewise, the House of Representatives approved President Bola Tinubu's request for external borrowings amounting to 1.77 trillion naira as outlined in the 2024 Appropriation Act. The loan will be raised through Eurobonds and other sources. The approval followed the presentation of a report by Honorable Abubakar Nalaraba, Chairman of House Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management, during plenary. The motion was passed under the presiding authority of Deputy Speaker Honorable Benjamin Kalu. In a separate session, the House also advanced the bill to amend the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja Act, passing it through the second reading. Still on Thursday, Finnish Nigerian separatist leader Simon Ekpa was arrested in Finland alongside 4 others on suspicion of terror-related activities, including incitement to violence and terrorism financing. According to local publication, Ekpa was remanded in custody by the Paijat District Court on charges of public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent. The publication reported that the Finnish Central Criminal Police confirmed the arrest in a statement, noting that other suspects were apprehended for allegedly financing terrorist activities. Ekpa is accused of coordinating violent actions against civilians and authorities in Nigeria's southeast region from Finland, using social media platforms to further his agenda. This is not the first time Ekpa has encountered Finnish authorities. In 2023, he was briefly detained on allegation of fundraising fraud. Ekpa also gained notoriety for his separatist rhetoric, particularly his calls to disrupt Nigerian elections. In 2023, he declared in a widely circulated social media video, "No elections will be held. Nigerian election will not be allowed in Biafran territory." Finnish police stated that international cooperation had been crucial to the ongoing investigation, with hearing for the suspect scheduled for Thursday. On Friday, President Bola Tinubu stated his administration's renewed focus in driving international and local investment into livestock sector of the agricultural value chain will end the crisis of farmer-headed clashes, eradicate hunger and poverty in Nigeria, as well as promote economic prosperity. President Tinubu said this in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, at the signing of a letter of intent between the Nigerian government and the JBSSA, one of the top 3 largest meat processing companies globally. The Nigerian leader called on the company to see the considerable potential in what he called the $2.5 billion livestock investment opportunities in Nigeria, especially with its huge population, and tap into it, giving JBSSA's global recognized expertise in the area of guaranteeing food security. In his remarks, Minister of Livestock Development Idi Mukhtar, who led the delegation, reported to the president that the team embarked on guided, extended and intensive tours of companies on the scale of the global reach, the integrated nature of the operation, as well as the deployment of advanced technology. He added that their interactions with various companies, JBSSA was chosen being the second largest meat processing company in the world, with the capacity to process 33,000 cattle daily and over 8 million birds daily, using advanced zero-waste practices. The company employs over 200,000 people across its subsidiaries in more than 50 countries in the world, including the United States, Canada, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, among others. Lastly, on Friday, the transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, announced that its Awhada-Yenigua 132 kV line, which is currently under repair due to previous vandalism, has again been attacked by vandals. According to the General Manager Public Affairs of the company in Didimba, the attack, which affected hours 29 to 31, was as a result of the theft of approximately 1/3 of the conductor. According to her, a team of TCN engineers led by Engineer Emmanuel Akpa, General Manager of Port Harcourt region, had conducted an inspection of the site. The statement said preliminary findings indicated that the incident occurred at night, and in an attempt to prevent further theft while repair arrangements had been made, local security had been engaged at Ulai Kata in our other East Local Government area to secure the site until repairs are completed. It additionally said the line will be energized from the Awhada end as a preventative measure, as efforts to replace the stolen 250mm conductor are currently underway. TCN also said despite challenges posed by difficult terrain and flooding, the restringing of the Awhada-Yenigua 132 kV line is approximately 85% complete. The company said its engineers from the Benin sub-region have initiated repairs to prevent the collapse of the affected towers and to avoid disruption of bulk power supply. And that's it on Track in the Week.